So this is the heart, and we need to distinguish what's front and what's back in the heart, what's anterior, what's posterior. So what I tell my students is this: you get this structure here. This is your interventricular sulcus. You have like one in the front and one in the back. And how are you going to tell which one is the one in the front, which one is the one in the back? You got the apex of the heart, which is the tip of the heart, and the anterior one goes diagonally. The posterior one goes perpendicular to this line of the heart. So the posterior goes towards the apex straight down, and the anterior like diverges from the apex and goes diagonally this way. So this way you know that this is the anterior part of the heart and this is the posterior part. Now look here, if you're facing the posterior part, you know that that's how it's going to go in your heart. So then you know that the right side that you're holding with your right hand is the right side of the heart. If you're holding the left one, that's the left side of the heart. So now let's see the chambers here. So I have at the top, this whole thing here is called the atria. This whole thing here is called the atria. Right atria, left atria. The bottom part that I'm holding now, this is the right ventricle. The bottom part that I'm holding now is the left ventricle. The interventricular sulcus marks the gap, the difference between these two. So we can see like the major blood vessels of the heart now. Before I get there, the atria at the top has this fringe here, and just this fringe is called auricle. The atria is the whole chamber that's encapsulated by that. And here, the other fringe here, it looks like a earlobe region. Just this fringe is the auricle. So let's see the blood vessels. We're going to move to the posterior position of the heart. So I move to the posterior position, and I get the interventricular sulcus again. At the top of the interventricular sulcus, if you probe here, you should find a really collapsed blood vessel. There's one on this side here, and I have another one here. I like this one to start off because I do what I call the magic move, in which I go from the top of the posterior interventricular sulcus through this blood vessel across. This at the bottom is your inferior vena cava. Magic move goes to the other end, and you get the superior vena cava. Now, we're going to move anterior to the heart. We're in the posterior view, we're going to move anterior to the heart. So I'll start with this one right here, which is a large blood vessel, really large. It was connected at that point here, so you see that they have like two of them. So this is your aorta, this is your brachiocephalic, your subclavian will be up here. Not all hearts will have that. Not all cuts of the heart will have that. All hearts have all these blood vessels, but sometimes the cut is slower and you just see the aorta and you don't see the brachiocephalic or subclavian. So this is halfway between the anterior portion, the posterior portion, and the anterior one. So these are right in the middle. If you move it really anterior, we find this other blood vessel here. That's your pulmonary trunk. And I tell my students that it's the most anterior of all blood vessels. Look at that one cut in diagonally here. So it's cut here in half, but you can see that. So the pulmonary trunk hugs the aorta. The only thing left is the pulmonary veins. The pulmonary veins are usually large here. You don't see like them distinguished. You just see where the point of insertion of them on the right atria. Sorry, left atria. So those are your pulmonary veins, bringing blood back to the heart.